All right, I am live. Welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I am here to do a love reading for single Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, or cross watcher, or anybody else who happens to come across this video. If the title brought you in, your intuition, whatever, there's something in here probably for you. And my readings are timeless, so whenever you catch this is the right time for you. And yeah, if it doesn't resonate, leave it. It's not meant for you. I have lots of other videos. And roles can also be reversed. And I'm trying something new today. I am going to continue with the love thing, but I'm going to focus specifically on singles this round. So today is singles, Aries Singles. I guess that sounds better. And yeah, I'll be asking some questions, picking some different cards, and we'll see what we see. So this is... Overall, the question is, what do you need to know about finding true love? Love, true love. My favorite movies of all time, The Princess Bride, so brilliant. So yeah, so we're gonna start by asking, what is working for you in finding true love? Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna start with the Good Tarot, and then I'm gonna use some other decks potentially to clarify. I haven't fully figured this out yet. You are my test subject. So, I want to cut the cards. Here we go. All right. So what's working for you in finding the true love that you would like, that would be most fulfilling? Ten of Fire. You are letting old stuff burn away that doesn't serve anymore, which is really good. You're releasing the past and you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever the universe sends me, whoever comes across my path. And you can't do that unless you release the old, or you end up in the same kind of situation as you were before. And I think you're in this place where you're like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm ready for something new. What's not working for you? Two of Water. Princess K, hello. Good, is it morning still? Good afternoon. Whatever time it is, hello. Welcome. This is harmonious partnership. It's not working for you because you don't have it. Kind of makes sense, but we'll clarify. We will see. How can you maximize your chances to find true love? We have the card of tension and conflict. I think this is about releasing the need to be right, about allowing someone to show up with their own set of ideas and opinions and values, and being willing to be open and compromise and not butt heads. Everyone's got their point of view, and the more open you can be to others, the more open they will be to you ultimately. And the outcome, a new, happy, emotional beginning that's very playful and childlike and full of wonder and excitement. Yeah, so this is good. Looking good so far. So I'm going to jump to the Oracle Tarot and clarify. So what is working for you? This willingness to let something burn away. What more do we want to know about this? the exact same card. Yeah, you're really clear that you don't want to carry the burdens of the past. You don't want to hang on to anything that is potentially holding you down, holding you back. Trying to think the best way to do this, because I want to I want to clarify with some different cards. But that means I have to keep coming back around to the same questions again. So do I just keep jumping around with different decks, or maybe I can use other decks to give us an overall once we get some clarification on this? Okay, I'm going to do that. So I'm still asking clarification. What is working for you? I mean, you're releasing the burden, putting down the burdens, letting the old burn away, releasing yourself from bondage, from the past, gaining your freedom to be able to move forward. I mean, yeah, with feeling free, feeling lighter, feeling optimistic and hopeful. So the Two of Water, which is the Two of Cups, which is about harmonious partnership. This isn't what's not working for you, which seems kind of obvious, but let's let's get clarification on that. Your own power. Two of Wands. So right away, I'm kind of getting this sense of, I talked about needing to release the need to be right, that you're very powerful. You have very strong ideas about what you want to do in life, how you think things should be, very passionate about what you're passionate about. And I think it often kind of inadvertently you loop around to yourself and you're like, no, me. And to be in a partnership, you have to open that up and look at, as I was saying, someone else's point of view. And that could be a part of what's keeping you from finding this true love, this relationship that is really going to work for you. There's got to be a more of a willingness to compromise. Yeah, you like to be in control. You like to be the one in power in probably in all areas of your life, if you could possibly help it. And sometimes, yes, that works really well for you. Sometimes not so much. So I'm getting the sense that there's there's too much of a need to control. And sometimes the need to control can come from fear of losing control. Maybe you have come from situations in your past where you felt out of control, where you felt stuck and bound to other people's their need to control, their whatever things you were dealing with. And it kind of puts you in this place where you're like, okay, I gotta put myself first, always, don't compromise. And unfortunately, though it's good to have strong boundaries, to get on the same page with someone, you got to be willing to release some of that and open up and let someone in ultimately. Because when we're in a place of control, we're not open to new ideas, we're not in the flow. There's this clenched fist kind of energy to it, and it's needing to open your fists, be open to receiving and allowing. And it might feel uncomfortable, people having their opinions, bringing new things to the table, not always comfortable, especially when it kind of I want to say the word threatens. Sometimes we can feel threatened by it, but it's like it challenges our comfort, our normal way of seeing things and thinking about things. And yet that's where growth happens. And that's why relationships are so awesome, because more than anything, romantic relationships really help us to grow, whether they work out or they don't. if we're doing the work. And so anyway, let's go to the next question. So how do you maximize your chances of finding love? As I've been talking about, you got to release the need to control, the need to be right, because that's what creates tension and conflict, is one thing. Yeah, pretty much always. Always tension and conflict comes from people butting heads, not being willing to see the other perspective to get on the same page. You want to get to this place of unity and love and caring, really cherishing a person, who they are, exactly as they are. And at the same time, hang on to your own self-reliance, your independence. This is going from an attitude of being codependent to an attitude of being interdependent in a relationship. Codependency comes from those issues that have happened in the past, from the fear, from, I don't know, we'll just say issues. And the interdependence is all about remaining independent, that you happily stand firm in who you are, but then you allow someone in, and you allow them to stand happily in who they are, and then together you bring different things to the table. And it's sort of like being like a tree in a storm, where you're firmly rooted in what you know to be true and who you are, and yet if the storm comes, you're able to be flexible and bend rather than break. If you're too stuck in what you think needs to happen and who you think you need to be, it's gonna cause a problem. And so it's really finding this balance between holding the space for someone else and allowing them to bring what they have to the table and being open to something new, but also standing firmly in your own self, in your own idea of who you are, and what you are absolutely not willing to compromise on. And maybe this is a part of what needs to happen, is you got to spend some time going within and really get clear. What are my there's a term that wants to come. It's on the tip of my brain. It's like, what are you absolutely not willing to compromise on? And what are you like, well, it wouldn't be a big deal if, I could change, if I could, open up to something new. And sometimes you don't even know until you're faced with it, until someone comes along and is like, yeah, but what about this? And, if you have your core things where you're like, yeah, I stand firmly on this, like, I need to be treated with respect. That's something you don't want to compromise on. If somebody shows up and they're not respecting you, then, you have an issue. But, someone's like, hey, how about we have tacos tonight instead of pizza? And you're like, well, I've never really been into tacos, or I only ever eat pizza. But, you can like open up to try something new, just to see. And who knows, maybe you'll discover you like tacos more than pizza. Weird analogy, but I think you get it. Okay, so then the outcome is the Page of Water, which is so great. I love this card in particular. It speaks of a new beginning where you and a person can be playful with one another. It's about having fun, being optimistic and enthusiastic, and just having this childlike exuberance about your relationship, about life in general. Yeah. And this outcome, it's a steady process to get there, because when you first come together with someone, you're going to bump up against some stuff. It's inevitable. You might have that kind of honeymoon period at first, but eventually one or the other of you is going to be like, no. and it's about, like, rather than having that knee-jerk reaction of like, okay, this has happened before and I'm putting up my wall and my barriers, you're like, no, okay, let me hear you out. And this is where active listening can come in handy, where you're like, okay, I hear you saying da 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 da, and you repeat it back to them. Is that right? And have them confirm to you, oh yeah, that is what I was saying, or no, you misunderstood. This is what I'm saying. And that's what helps you get on the same page and helps you understand where you can compromise, where you can get to this, or at least stay in this place of playfulness. It takes time. Getting to know a person takes time. And justice, making honorable choices. Yeah. Making the honorable choices that are good for you, are good for the other person. That's, the choices that are for everyone's highest good, that help the situation have balance. It's not just about choosing for yourself and that's it. Not talking about it. We're done here. It's like, okay, let's have this conversation. Let's let this be a continuous conversation where we keep coming back. Here's the choices we're presented with. How's this going to help? It's this process. It's looking really good. Yeah. Really comes down to doing that work, doing that inner work, what is sometimes known as shadow work, seeing where you have those knee-jerk reactions. Where did they come from? If you need to do some inner child stuff, usually that's where our original wounds happened in childhood. And that allows you to tap in to it. It allows you to accept all the parts of yourself, to love all the parts of yourself. And once you're in that place, then you can gain clarity on where you can compromise, because you have these solid, firm boundaries, but only in a way that allows you to remain true to yourself. Hey, knee 17E. I don't know if I said that right, but hello, California. That's so cool. That's where I was born and raised. I am in Oregon now. So we're still kind of neighbors. I think I'm going to just kind of do a little bit of free form here. Probably gonna end this shortly. Try and keep this a little shorter. My last round, the readings are really long. Nice, yay! One of my closest longtime friends lives in San Francisco, and one of my other ones lives in Oakland. So it's a good area. Expensive, but good. That's why everyone wants to be there, which makes sense. We have Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. So this could be speaking to as you're figuring all this out, as you're doing the work, the shadow work, the inner child work, you are tapping in. It takes time to excavate all this stuff, which if you haven't, chances are you're here because you haven't found the love of your life. And so this situation can be considered a divine detour because you have something to learn in order for you to be able to be a resonant match for that right person. That anytime something doesn't work out is because there's something to learn. There's something to be gained that you don't have yet. So trust that you are being led to this person. Absolutely. It's gonna be really balanced and playful. And trust that you're gonna get there. Grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. This could speak to you knowing someone already that maybe you have feelings for, but you really weren't sure how you were, weren't sure how they feel about you, or if you're ready. Sometimes we want love, but then we're faced with it and we're like, scary. And this can be about being like, okay, just gonna do it. But this can also be someone coming in that it's kind of to what I was speaking of, where you think you want it, and then there they are in front of you, and you're like, oh crap, this person is really amazing. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe they're not going to like me. Maybe, we kind of get all caught up in our head. Maybe there's something wrong with them. Maybe they're going to be like my ex, and this is part of the trust that, if you come across someone where you're getting that intuitive nudge, where you're like, ooh, I'm really feeling this, that chances are that's your intuition telling you, like, yeah, and our higher power talks to us through our intuition. And so that's like the divine saying, hey, you've done the work. Like, let yourself have this win. Take that leap of faith. And turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. So you take the leap of faith, but you're not like barreling forward full force. You're like, okay, I'm going to let you know that I like you. And then we're going to spend some time getting to know one another and just see, are we on the same page? Do we get along? Are we both like coming at things from that same sort of independent mindset? Are we both on the same page as far as like wanting to maintain our independence, but then also come together and compromise? Do we fit? And the longer you draw that out, and let the anticipation build, and you really get to know somebody, then you're helping to build this on a solid foundation, and you're establishing a friendship, which in my opinion, every relationship should be established on a friend basis. Because otherwise, once the passion goes away and you don't have any kind of common ground, then, you don't have a friendship, then it just kind of crumbles, So take it slow and know that is going to help you with finding the balance. And that may be part of the steady process to get you to this place of having this new exciting relationship where you feel playful and optimistic and all the fun things. Because when you start with that energy, it often will carry through, especially if you've taken the time to devote to making that the basis of the relationship, the foundation. So this looks really good. I really like this reading, and I'm really excited about this new spread. Thank you for being my guinea pig. And yeah, what a beautiful reading. Trust that it's coming. Do the inner work. Learn to love all parts of yourself, because that's what helps you integrate all the stuff. And then you can move forward confidently, happily, and in love. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world and San Francisco. And I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe.